Well, Edney's taken the brace off. His right wrist heavily taped.
I think we're going to get an indication early because obviously either McDaniel or Beck are going to go right after him when he handles that ball in the dribble.
The quest for the crown is underway, and Edney with the left hand over to Bailey. In the corner, O'Bannon. Bruins with a three.
Well, he's had a game with 7, so he's off to a good start.
Quick whistle, and Zedek holding on to Williamson down the blocks.
As Zedek and J.R. Henderson picked up 8 fouls trying to take care of Big Country. That's a little quicker foul than Jim Herrick would have liked.
Williamson outside, starting to develop that outside shot, Billy. We've seen it right here in this tournament, in the Midwest Regional and at the Final Four.
There's that 2-2-1 press we talked about. Over the top.
Bailey inside the free throw line, banks it down.
Beautiful job against the press. Not one time did they put the ball on the floor and try to dribble through it. Passed over the top. Doubling down by Edney.
Williamson gets it again. What a rejection. That time by Charles O'Bannon, Arkansas basketball.
Jim, we're going to see some of the best long-armed, quick athletes that there is in college basketball.
Scotty Thurman. The rainbow doesn't fall, but Martin saves it.
He had Williamson wide open inside, missed him. Now they drop back in the 2-3 zone.
McDaniel driving on Edney. Scoop shot blocked by Charles O'Bannon. Elmer Martin, undefeated as a starter this year. 14-0, he's considered their good luck charm. Won't play that many minutes, though.
They showed a little 2-3 zone, now back to man-to-man.
Thurman lost the handle. Here come the Bruins with Bailey ahead. Bailey lost control, and Martin fields it.
Both teams wanting to push the ball, Jim.
Here's Martin. He made one Saturday and today as well.
That's that good luck charm bonus. Not only getting in the starting lineup as a token, but burying 2 threes. Oh, there's Edney, almost lost that ball on the catch. And obviously can't dribble with the right hand.
Cannot take it to the right side.
Showing a lot of guts out here.
Still able to draw the foul, though, the hand check on Corey Beck.
You can see he tried to crossover dribble and didn't have the right hand to make the power move. Normally, he'd blow by with that crossover dribble.
So you know this too, Billy, he'll have no jump shot.
No. I'm surprised McDaniel's guarding.
Last touch Bailey, Arkansas ball.
Jim, I think of another major matchup, Cincinnati, Ohio State. 1962, Jerry Lucas went down in the semifinal game, really changed the complexion of that championship, which Cincinnati won. Nice defense by Zedek, stayed with him.
McDaniel 3, and Arkansas has knocked down 2 of them. 8-5 Hogs, and a steal. They take it away from Edney, and Beck puts it in for 2 more.
Jim, I think Jim Herrick, and he did make the move right away. I think he has seen enough. He's got to go with Cameron.
O'Bannon, layup in and out, blocked from behind, and Beck was on the line. UCLA ball, and we'll see now Cameron Dollar coming in for Tyus Edney. Dollar, a 6'1 sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia, coached by his father in high school, has a brother, Chad, who played at Clemson this year.
Jim, I was thinking the same thing that Jim Herrick had to be thinking. He saw
Look at this, pickpocket right away on Dollar, and McDaniel lays it in.
And boy, now you're going to see Arkansas go for the kill.
Charles O'Bannon underneath, and last touch by Beck.
We talked about in the top of the show, 94 feet of hell or 94 feet of heaven. Without Edney in the game, that hell is really going to come on now.
Zedek stripped by McDaniel. Beck waits for Thurman to fire the 3. Rattles out. Dollar ahead. Bailey, though, will keep it on the right wing. Now it comes back to Dollar. Underneath to Ed O'Bannon.
That pass was intended for Charles O'Bannon. He ought to get an assist on that on the touch.
That breaks an Arkansas 10-point run.
Now let's see what UCLA is made of in terms of coming back.
Well,
Knowing their leader's gone.
Dollar pull-up jumper. Charles. Beautiful. Arkansas in transition. McDaniel ahead and Ed O'Bannon on his back.
Charles O'Bannon coming off the great game against Oak State that he had on Saturday. Played 37 minutes, 7 for 9, 19 points, 6 rebounds, and there is a young man who you know has to be heartbroken right now. He tried, Jim, but you could tell that 2 or 3 times up the floor, he just couldn't do it.
There's just no chance. McDaniel hit clutch free throws in the end against North Carolina. McDaniel grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and worshiped the Golden Hurricane when it was coached by Nolan Richardson. It was his dream to one day play for him. So he headed over to Fayetteville.
Right, not only 4 for 4 against North Carolina, that now makes him 17 for 19 in the NCAA tournament.
Arkansas with a 5-point lead. UCLA easily breaks the pressure that time, and that'll send Charles O'Bannon to the line.
Now we have seen one coaching move already. Jim Herrick forced to change his point guard situation. Now how will Nolan adjust on his part? Does he go after them even further? Or does he go ahead and not give UCLA a chance to play in the open court where they're so successful?
Charles O'Bannon. We sang yesterday, we're a close-knit family. We feel it is us against the world. No one thinks we can achieve what we believe we can achieve, and we just use that as a small motivation in helping us achieve our goal.
Dollar staying back here on Beck, but you can't press with one man. Arkansas adjusts nicely.
Williamson for 2 more.
We saw him go around Rasheed Wallace with that same drop step move on Saturday. Comes right back with it again. Bailey helping out, breaking the press.
Zedek banks it home.
Both teams shooting extremely well early, Jim. What has gotten them here is excellent defensive pressure.
Traveling. Clint McDaniel has scored 7 points. Corliss Williamson with 2 baskets. One from the outside, this one underneath. And the Hogs have the early edge.
Back in Seattle, as Tyus Edney came off the court moments ago, the trainer Tony Spino offered him a hot pad for his wrist. He turned it down. He's been clenching and opening his fist, trying to get some looseness, but obviously he is very disappointed. He's been trying to even clap his hands for his teammates and can't do that. Let's send it back to Jim and Billy.
Already UCLA has turned it over 5 times.
In 10 possessions. And the more they try to beat that press with the dribble, Jim, the more trouble they're going to be in. They've got to go over the top with passing.
Bailey, the freshman, made a nice penetration move, but couldn't finish it. And Ed O'Bannon almost took it away.
You have a tendency to underestimate how long those arms are of Ed O'Bannon, how quick he is. But Martin coming up with another big play. He gets an amazing play from a starter who is almost as a sub, Jim, but does the job.
Traveled that time.
Nolan puts his head down. He's thinking about how much longer do I leave Martin in the game. Stewart's about ready on that sideline.
Dollar against McDaniel. McDaniel, one of the top defensive guards in the country. And last touch by Beck.
Now what's so difficult for UCLA here is when you have a Tyus Edney, he sets up your offense by dribble penetration. Dollar not capable of doing that against McDaniel, so it's hard for them to get into their normal offensive pattern.
Bailey, no whistle, ball loose, Martin runs it down.
Second straight rebound for Martin.
Skip pass to McDaniel.
Arkansas not going to forget Williamson in the first half like they did against Oak State. Look at him getting position on Zidek inside.
He had position. They couldn't get it to him.
Martin not the guy to feed, see, because you can lay off Martin.
Foul on Dollar.
Jim, it's never good to try to have your weakest shooter feeding the postman, because his defensive player can drop back inside and double down on Corliss Williamson. So it's good to have a guy like Scotty Thurman making the pass. You lay off Scotty, he's the record holder for threes, he'll bury you.
Martin's already made one. That one too strong. Toby Bailey, freshman, would have to come up big here tonight with the absence of Edney for UCLA to have a chance.
And Jim, in 1971, when UCLA beat Villanova for the championship, 8 of the 10 players that started that game played all 40 minutes. Tonight, there are going to be some UCLA players out there that have to start thinking about that. And as I said, Stewart comes up off the bench. So they just go to that bench, which has been so productive.
Arkansas empty on its last 5 trips. Make it 6, and on the back, Martin collects his second. He'll go out now. Martin, a high school teammate at Fairleigh High School in Memphis of Corey Beck, and the man who replaces him, Dwight Stewart. All 3 of them played high school ball together, and now closing out their college careers as seniors this evening.
And of course, got here by winning against Memphis in Memphis.
In overtime.
In Kansas City.
In Kansas City.
Yeah.
Back to Dollar, wrap-around pass, no one there.
You've got to think who you're throwing it to. Zidek can do a lot of things, but he's not going to be that gifted on the short interior pass. Score stuck on 16-12 for a while. Scotty Thurman hadn't gotten into the offense.
They're going to call that on Beck for pushing off on Dollar. And that's the second on Beck. That's a big whistle there because Dollar already had one also.
And remember, Corey Beck in that Memphis game against Chris Garner got in all kinds of foul trouble, and one of the things we were looking forward to tonight in regard to a potential matchup with Edney.
Already within 3 of their tournament average in turnovers. O'Bannon able to get it flat-footed back. And McDaniel reached in. Arkansas is going to send in a sub. Another senior, 6'1", Alex Dillard, long-range specialist.
What Dillard does, of course, is keep Beck out of foul trouble, but it will also extend the defense, which gives Corliss Williamson more room to operate inside.
And now UCLA brings in J.R. Henderson, a freshman.
And Jim, Dillard has been very interesting in the tournament. Against Memphis, in 17 minutes, he scored 19 points with 4 threes. But against UNC, he was 0 for 5. Part of that contingent in the first half of that game that really took Arkansas out of their offense. Let's see what he does tonight because he's so explosive.
Eddie O'Bannon will shoot one more. Made first-team All-America this year, joining Joe Smith, Sean Respert, Damon Stoudemire, and Jerry Stackhouse. O'Bannon and Stoudemire shared Player of the Year honors in the Pac-10.
UCLA doing a nice job dropping back, picking up strictly in the half court.
Stewart, who had such an outstanding game in the semifinals. Dillard, a little too high off the glass.
Good breakthrough by Dollar.
Zidek outside. Zidek, the old roommate of Tyus Edney. He credits Edney for his career lasting so long at UCLA. He was ready to give it up after 2 years, but Edney told him to stay. Good things would come.
Great play by Charles O'Bannon.
And ahead they go. Ed to Charles to Ed for Dollar.
Jim, that's what I mentioned about Nolan Richardson maybe having to make a decision. Without Edney in there, he may be able to play these guys half court at a time. Where UCLA scores is when they can get into that 94 feet of heaven.
Stewart, reverse. Nice move by the big man. You
talked about Edney being the guy that kept Zidek in school at UCLA. How about the fact that Corey Beck is the guy that talked Nolan Richardson into bringing Stewart along? The point guards were thinking even when they weren't playing.
There's McDaniel with a second steal tonight. 3-on-2. Dillard.
Smart defense by Charles O'Bannon. He wouldn't give him the jump shot, made him put it on the floor.
And a 3-second violation on the Hogs. Arkansas went almost 4 minutes without a field goal, and it's 18-17 Razorbacks.
As we mentioned in the pregame, 94 feet of heaven. Now watch how UCLA creates their offense off the defense. The ball goes into Corliss. We have 5 men in this play, but they will all take off on the break, and Cameron Dollar will start it. And once he starts it, watch this team operate. 5 men on the break, even Zedek traveling. One brother back to the other brother, they score. Excellent transition game on offense.
18-17 Arkansas.
Dollar cannot break him down with his dribble, however.
Henderson blocked by Darnell Robinson, who enters the game. Davor Remat's number 22 also into the Razorback lineup. Meanwhile, Toby Bailey has come back. Henderson kept it alive, but out it comes to Clint McDaniel.
Only one starter on the floor right now, Jim, for Arkansas. So remember, with that depth, they can wear people down.
And there's the starter with the ball, McDaniel.
Even Big Country Reeves said, I got tired in the game against UCLA. You can imagine what it'd be like in this game.
10 on the shot clock.
They're not worried about Robinson doubling down as much as they were.
Robinson have to put it up. Nope. Great defense by UCLA.
Well, you go again to that bench, which Nolan Richardson has showed us time and time again that he has so much confidence in various lineups. Give him a lot of credit for that.
Well, look, Arkansas has 8 turnovers as well. We've been tracking the Bruins, but Arkansas also sloppy here early.
Little zone defense, trapping out of the zone.
Charles O'Bannon.
Nice job by Robinson. Although his feet still hurt him, and he only is about 60% as far as his ability to run, did a good job on defense there.
Kingdome, Seattle. The 63rd game of the 1995 tournament. This one for the crown. Jim Nance and Billy Packer. Arkansas and UCLA midway through the first half. Darnell Robinson. That gives Arkansas a 3-point lead, 2017.
We saw Robinson and Wilson, the twin towers of Arkansas, in the game on Saturday. Expect to see it again today. Both of them being very productive in the tournament.
Ed O'Bannon off the glass like John Wooden loved it.
Terrific job. He looked for the pass as well as the shot. You're exactly right, Jim. That was vintage Wooden, the jumper off the board.
Always use the glass.
Yep.
McDaniel hacked on the way in. They say actually with the body, Henderson. J.R. Henderson, freshman who in his second college game hit 2 free throws with 0.6 of a second left to beat Kentucky. And now Zedek comes in for Charles O'Bannon.
Ben McDaniel shooting 2.
Jim, we started talking about straight NCAA wins. Arkansas tonight with 11. The Bruins under Wooden at one time won 38 straight NCAA tournament games. You have to remember back in some of those years, obviously, they only played 4 games for the national championship.
McDaniel has 8 of Arkansas's 21 total.
Nolan Richardson doesn't go full court pressure. Now he traps out of the half court zone. Really moving those feet. This is what gave North Carolina so much trouble in the second half.
Into Zedek. Dollar thought about a 3, gives it up now. Zedek
off balance.
Remat tips it to himself. And stolen by Ed O'Bannon. Boy, he's been reading that all night. Finally got one. Bailey had it on his hip, now off the glass.
Well, Saturday we talked about the freshman factor. Would they be phased? They didn't have big offensive production in that game. but Bailey played great defense. Shows you there, this is a young man with tremendous potential.
No question. He had 26 in the West Final against UConn.
His defense against Rutherford was outstanding.
3 way short of the mark by Stewart, who hit one from beyond midcourt to end the half on Saturday.
Jim, one positive factor for UCLA with Edney out. Dollar is a better defender. And this team on the floor, if they can stay fresh, and I'm talking about UCLA, is a very good defensive ball club. Best differential between defensive and offensive percentage of anybody in the Pac-10.
Ball on the floor, loose ball, lost by Arkansas.
You're talking about a team that shoots 51%, holds their opponents to 40%. That's a differential of 11, which is huge. And there's that 2-3 zone again. Really heavy pressure on the ball. Hook shot.
There it is, old-fashioned kind at that.
You saw that coming. He was in perfect balanced position to take it.
Stewart spinning and traveling. Well, Zedek says I have to have this in my arsenal to make up for my limited athletic ability.
Well, there was the perfect hook shot move. I mean, it's not Kareem Jabbar, fans, but that's as good an old-time hook shot as you'll see in college basketball.
Corliss Williamson back in.
Jim, he comes in at 6:06. They're playing the zone, and now you have a semi-twin towers as Robinson stays in the game. And Scotty Thurman in as well, and boy, look at those hands.
Thurman just stripped it right away from a not-looking Henderson, and now Williamson misses the short one. Bruins everywhere, but the ball tipped out thanks to the hustle of Corliss. Back to the big man.
Nice job by Bailey.
Look at this. It's Williamson against 4 Bruins. They're going to overrule the call.
Sensational defensive play by Bailey against one of the best inside closer in the business. Watch Bailey come across to help out, gets his hand up, making life miserable for Corliss.
It'll be UCLA basketball with the lead when we come back. At this beautiful setting of Seattle, let's reflect for a moment. The last time UCLA won the national championship, did you know, March 31st, 75, #1 song, Minnie Riperton, Loving You, Hawaii Five-0, #1 TV show, Godfather 2 movie, and Billy Packer, you were broadcasting your first of now 21 Final Fours.
Coach Wooden's last memorable moment in San Diego. And Jim, remember earlier on when I said Nolan Richardson has a thought to make? Do I keep pressing this UCLA team where they have that open court area to score? Do I drop back and play a little zone and trap them? He's decided to try this move. 2-3 zone, pressure on the ball, not giving UCLA that wide open court to operate in.
Zedek from the corner. Thurman.
There's those quick hands.
O'Bannon, good fake.
Brilliant move. Well, his coach said he had the greatest run of 5 games of anybody in college basketball, and that's one of the reasons why. He's so versatile.
Well, he's hit 5 out of 6 from the field. Dillard gunning. Yes, 3-pointer.
Normally doesn't score off the dribble, but shows he has that in his arsenal, too.
And he gets off the snide in Seattle. O'Bannon.
Push off.
No ball.
Zedek got by with that one. Hook
Zedek.
shot.
Well, he's trying to set up for it, but the Razorbacks got in the pack. Bailey to the line for a couple as Robinson hammered him. Near the conclusion of this game, we'll be selecting the Chevrolet Players of the Game. In conjunction with the award, Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. The Bruins bring back Charles O'Bannon. Henderson out. UCLA had a poster in its locker room all season long, as we see Corey Beck come back with the 2 fouls. It's a poster of the Kingdome in Seattle.
Took a visit here when they came up to play the University of Washington, just to say, guys, it's the place you want to come back to.
Toby Bailey, who will shoot one more. There's his dad, John, a UCLA graduate and a parole officer back in LA. But Toby Bailey said he'd come in every day And look at that poster.
Oh, that's Corey Beck's third, Jim. He reached in on O'Bannon.
Poked him in the eye.
Yeah, he comes in the game and picks up his third. It reminds you of the Memphis game where he got in such serious foul trouble. Now what's happening here, Edney out with injury, Beck out in foul trouble. Almost an even matchup. Second time Ed's gotten poked. Jim, yesterday, he received an award as the RCA Player of the Year. The award is a big, heavy piece of glass on marble. He held it above his head. The glass fell out, wasn't attached, came down and grazed his head. His father, a former wide receiver, caught it in midair. He said it was one of the greatest catches he's ever made in UCLA history.
Well, he didn't have any receptions at UCLA, so it was his only reception in UCLA history.
Was the immaculate
But he
reception.
played on the team in 1971.
Right, 71. Great family here. They were all here to watch their son receive the award. And he's not disappointing them today either. Great man to man. Williamson now playing forward.
That'll belong to Arkansas.
And there's Bailey again. The second time, Jim, that from the weak side, this young man has made a great play. (27-24) UCLA. We haven't seen Lee Wilson to this point, Billy. I'm surprised, Jim. He's played very, very well in the tournament.
Robinson, second basket of the night. Zedek posting up, now sets a little screen. Bailey in traffic.
That was not a bad idea by Bailey to put it up on the glass because UCLA had the numbers inside with O'Bannon and Zedek. So just keep it up there. Maybe somebody can rebound and put back.
5:49 left in the half.
Beauty.
Bailey with a great pass inside. And Charles O'Bannon will shoot a couple.
One of the things that you have to admire about UCLA is that everybody on this team can catch the tough pass. Normally this may be too close to fire a pass inside, but they have great hands and keep their concentration up.
Charles O'Bannon, who along with his brother Ed, used to play when they were little kids with Tyus Edney. He saw film this week when he was 7 years old, and there was Edney at age 9 playing with him.
There's a coach that really admires what that man has done so far in this game. Great job by Zedek, playing that many minutes that productively.
Been a while, Billy, since we've seen Corliss get it inside. Dillard 3.
Don't like that shot.
Bailey coming in on the wing. Robinson clears and snaps it and picked off by Dollar, who has settled down beautifully. O'Bannon 3.
He got hit on the arm, but there goes Corliss.
Tipped by O'Bannon to save a possible breakaway, and they say off the fingertips of Corliss.
Terrific job by Ed O'Bannon. He's the guy that got hit on the arm, but look at him hustle to get back against one of the nation's premier running big men, Corliss Williamson. And they have forced Arkansas to play half court at a time.
O'Bannon. Brother retrieves.
UCLA getting a little tired, Jim. Jim Herrick hoping they can get through these next 4 minutes to get to a halftime.
Bailey. Three-pointer.
With Robinson in the game, Corliss Wilson has to play a forward defensively.
Furman. Wow. We don't see a misfire like that very often.
Jim Herrick telling Dollar to slow things down. He doesn't want him to get completely out of breath.
No foul, but last touch by McDaniel. Now Lee Wilson comes in. Billy, we want to send our best along to Lorenzo Romar's father, who's watching tonight on a local hospital. Had to be rushed to a hospital Saturday during the semifinal game. Aneurysm, operation Saturday night. He's been in serious but stable condition. Bailey again.
Well, we saw the give and go out of those two freshmen on Saturday. They do it once again.
Bailey has 10 points. As we said, Billy, he would have to be one to step up tonight. And that's off UCLA. Bruins enjoying their largest lead as they go to the under 4 break. 8-point advantage for UCLA, its largest lead, and the freshman has 10. As we continue to monitor turnovers, Arkansas now has turned it over more. And Williamson and Thurman, top 2 scorers for the defending national champions, only 4 points.
Jim, I think that Scotty Thurman is going to have to get into the offensive production. On Saturday against UNC, even though Arkansas won, Beck and Thurman were 4 for 19. That is not the Scotty Thurman that we know. He's got to be pivotal in the offense. He's not getting enough touches.
Inbound to Remots.
Again, with Wilson inside, they have to have...
Wow, Wilson got excellent position underneath. Backed him in and slam dunk for the sophomore from Waco, Texas.
Jim, that backboard was broken this morning. That was almost another problem for the tournament committee.
Second broken backboard of this Final Four. Follow-up, in and out.
Dollar is staying back on defense to take away that break of Arkansas's.
Williamson to the line for a couple. To finish that thought, the backboard this morning during a shoot-around, snapped, broke, shattered glass after a rather routine dunk by freshman backup guard Landis Williams of Arkansas. And coupled with Brian Reeves on Friday.
Big countries wipe out on Friday.
They're down to only 2 backboards in the arena.
Right now, we're seeing what made Arkansas, I think, the national champion last year. Nolan Richardson going with his power club. Now it's Wilson and Williamson. It gives you an entirely different look to beat.
Corliss, the MOP, as they call it, most outstanding player at the Final Four last year, coming off the big game Saturday. And should he find a way to win that award tonight, he'd be the first man back-to-back since Bill Walton to win that award. Dollar driving, good dish, Bailey dunk.
That's why they're so tough to press. In the open court, they can all handle the ball.
7-point Bruin advantage. McDaniel 3. He's the top man for the Hogs so far with 11.
Look at this, it's Wilson down here on the press. Nice job by Dollar, retreating in advance.
Bailey.
He got fouled.
Run down by the other freshman.
You see where Dollar is? He's all the way back at half court, Jim. He's playing like a safety man in a prevent defense in football. He's not going to let Arkansas get any easy fast breaks.
Taken away by Arkansas. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. Timeout called by McDaniel. Looked like he might have traveled.
He traveled before the timeout. The officials didn't see it.
Well, they grant the timeout to Arkansas. 1:50 remaining first half. UCLA 36-32. Coming up, Pennzoil at the half. A live two-way with President Clinton. The first fan who was there last year in Charlotte when the Razorbacks took down the Nets.
Well, Jim, he may be the best political man in regard to being a fan, but the best political Democrat as far as being a Final Four man was Bill Bradley. the great Senator from New Jersey.
Right out here.
He still holds the record in 2 games of 87 points. Was the MOP of the tournament back in '65 and scored 58 points in the consolation game.
Took place in Seattle.
That's something that maybe Coach Wooden will talk about, because in the championship game of that tournament, Gail Goodrich had 42 against Michigan and didn't get the MOP of the tournament. It went to Dollar Bill, Senator Bill Bradley, a great player from Princeton.
Well, Arkansas got away with a travel, but that's a timeout
Really did,
that later in the game
Little 1-4
they may
set.
need. McDaniel, well, got a 3 off of it, and cuts it to 1.
Nice offensive set there. And Arkansas, you're exactly right, Jim. They had a turnover and end up, instead of turning over the ball, get off a good shot.
Dollar comes out of the double team, but throws a soft pass that then is deflected by Dollar into Bailey's hands.
Nobody back.
And McDaniel ahead for an easy 2 and the lead.
UCLA tried to convert unnecessarily when they had the numbers. Dollar's penetration left nobody back.
Arkansas has come back from 8 down to go up 1.
UCLA has to give up the ball. Switching man-to-man here.
O'Bannon wanted the foul on top of it, didn't get the call.
There's 2-second differential now. Let's see if Arkansas holds for 1 and they want to keep this pressure up.
Arkansas with its floor general on the bench with 3 fouls. Wilson scores, but still plenty of time for UCLA.
They ought to take 1 shot here. Dangerous.
Great passing. And J.R. Henderson gives UCLA the lead. 6 seconds to go. McDaniel. Pull up 3. UCLA goes to the locker room with the first half lead. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Bruins 40, the Razorbacks 39. And CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this message and a word from your local station. And Clint McDaniel. McDaniel having a big scoring night with 16, but the 2 of them did not have a single assist in the first half. And Beck, for as great a floor general as he is, and Richardson calls him his most outstanding player, it's really surprising he allows himself to continually get in foul trouble in the first half.
Well, remember, Jimmy came in with 2 fouls and had that reach-in foul before he actually played 1 second of time his last time on the floor.
Bruins 22-1 when leading at halftime. But that's part of the reason why so many of the Arkansas games come down to the last seconds.
There's Wilson inside, gets a starting assignment. The real key for Arkansas, get Scotty Thurman off the snide here in the second half, early.
O'Bannon. Zedek. Very nice putback.
How is that possible? Nolan Richardson has his twin towers in there and he go overpowered. And let's give Bailey some credit for the fact that Thurman hasn't gotten off many shots.
Lee Wilson with position. He'll go to the line for a couple. Ed O'Bannon. That's his second.
Jim, one of the reasons Arkansas is here is so many guys have come off the bench and been productive. And this guy maybe more than any in that Syracuse game with Williamson out with fouls. He was the guy. 18 points, 5 rebounds. Was just a tower of strength against Jim Boeheim's club.
You know, Nolan Richardson says that for 2 years, Lee Wilson has had to go against Corliss in practice. Corliss, he says, used to dominate him, but no more.
51% free throw shooter, but during the NCAA tournament, he's lifted that greatly, up around almost 70. There's that 2-2-1 press again. Nolan having to make some tough decisions here as to how he wants to work defensively.
Oh, no look pass from Cameron Dollar.
Dollar threw a body block on Wilson in
did.
addition to that and cleaned him out. So he not only gets the assists, but he throws the block.
Wilson, well, they just shot a free throw from there.
Isn't it amazing how they can get such productivity off this bench? Here's
That's the
the
thing, and you never
2-2-1.
know which guy it's going to be either. You know, every night it's someone new. Zedek, what they say, last touch by Thurman. Yeah, I
You'll
like the
see
way
it right here.
Yeah.
Here, Dollar will pass. Now he blocks, knocks Wilson right out of the sideline. Easy layup. Now back to the 2-3 zone. They have to play this because otherwise O'Bannon would be on Williamson from the outside.
Oh, come on!
Scotty Thurman, Arkansas looking to run here. McDaniel on the wing. And Charles O'Bannon says, I got the numbers.
Jim, Damon Stoudemire was co-MVP of the Pac-10, but one of the things he said, and I think he's a very smart basketball player, against UCLA, you got to keep people back. And here they come again.
Charles ahead. Brother to brother and deflected by Beck.
I've read a lot of Stoudemire's comments, and I think he's probably the best student of the game that I've heard about in college basketball, but he's absolutely correct. You better have a safety man.
Foul before the shot. Stoudemire didn't miss many games this year that were broadcast. He prides himself on watching them all.
Yep.
First on Williamson.
Now, Jim, one of the things we need to keep looking at all the time is the fatigue factor. That's what Nolan Richardson counts on for the big run in the second half.
Look at Bailey climb up for that rebound. One more time, and the freshman on the third chance gets it to go.
The second put back for UCLA in this half, and Nolan has his power team on the floor. Scotty Thurman cannot get away from Charles O'Bannon.
Watch Toby Bailey, the freshman.
One shot. Two shots. Three shots. How about that?
He was the one who, when they had that poster in the locker room, said all season long he would daydream about what it would be like if they got to the Kingdome and played in front of 40,000. Away from the ball, the foul on Wilson.
Not a smart foul there. Zedek, no problem on that part of the floor. You see here, he's fighting him when his man isn't yet a threat. You have to move your feet, not grab with your hands.
Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Let's go.
And Wilson is going to be coming out. Stewart coming in.
Zedek, two. Oh, a collision. You're not going to win that one when you collide with Corliss. Bailey picks up the foul, his first.
You know, a lot of times the foul would have been called on Corliss because he knocked the other man to the floor, but that was well officiated there because Bailey is the guy that initiated the contact. UCLA guys bending over, grabbing their pants, Jim. This is awful early in the second half to be doing that.
Thurman, three. There you go. First bucket of the night for Thurman. Foul on McDaniel. Dollar to the line.
Again, this press will force some turnovers for UCLA, but look at how well they convert in the open court. And I'm sure in the days between Saturday and tonight, Nolan Richardson thought many times about what's the best way to play this team, and that was with Edney in the game.
First point for Dollar, who was saying before the game that he felt Arkansas's pressure presented some of the problems they faced this year against Arizona State. Key against their pressure is going to be handling the ball and not having many turnovers. How do you think he's done against the press?
I think he's done very well, but even more importantly, he's been so solid on defense. UCLA goes in the 2-3 zone. Watch out for Scotty Thurman. Remember how flat they played this zone the other day? They changed it this time now that they've got a different type of team.
Steal by the Bruins.
There was only one outside shooter for Oak State. Now there's more, so they don't flatten down.
Great pass by Dollar. Oh, comes out of there with O'Bannon and one. Wow.
Jim, I have not seen a college team able to throw such line drive, quick passes on the interior as UCLA. They have great hands on the inside, and it really takes away the defense. And now he's in the game. Watch these passes. They are so hard. And again, UCLA going to the offensive glass for the third time in this half.
Eddie O'Bannon with the three-point play. O'Bannon has moved past Tracy Murray and Trevor Wilson tonight to fourth all-time score at UCLA, behind McLean, Alcindor, and Reggie Miller. Corliss in the paint.
Nice job by Zidek.
Look at this pass.
There's the pass.
Talk about a bullet. Oh! Double-digit lead for the Bruins.
Nolan not going for the timeout, trying to wait for the TV timeout. But that bullet pass is amazing how they can throw it.
Thurman. Stewart. O'Bannon reached in.
Jim, this is the first time I've seen the Arkansas players kind of confused a little bit. Look at that fire. Our director, Bob Fishman, one of his great heroes is Sandy Koufax.
Right.
I don't know if Koufax could throw any better strike than that one.
Had the love of that effort by the southpaw. And now Dwight Stewart.
What's so tough on that kind of pass is you normally have some English that makes it tough to catch, but that was on the money.
Sandy's talking about it right now. How did he do that?
He said, I had a high hard one. That one was a low hard one. He also had a pretty good curveball, but that's not what you wanted to throw on that pass.
So missing the second one, they don't get the under 16-minute timeout. Maybe on the next whistle. Alex Dillard has checked into the Arkansas lineup along with Darnell Robinson.
There's a little give and go, but Ed O'Bannon can take Stewart, Jim, on the dribble.
Zidek going after the loose ball. Pushes back to the floor, no call. Now we have a timeout. Corliss Williamson, by the way, hasn't scored in over 20 minutes of action. Bruins by 9. I don't know if it was a superstition, but on Saturday, when John Wooden was watching UCLA on television, he was in St. Louis for the McDonald's High School All-America game. The Bruins were leading Oak State by 1 with 2:40 to go. And he reached down, took out a baseball cap with UCLA on it, and they scored the last 12 points.
I'm really disappointed in Coach. He doesn't have that little program rolled up like he always used to carry with him.
Let's send them one. Shot clock. Down to 2. They don't realize it. Not in time. Not in time.
Jim, how many times have we seen that this year? Teams not realizing they don't have the full complement of seconds. Not a coaching breakdown, but you're just not used to having to get it off that quickly.
And that's the first turnover of the half for UCLA. Stewart bangs it home. Two-pointer.
Nice move by Nolan Richardson. Put Stewart right in the center of that 2-3 zone where he can step out and shoot that jumper. Very good use of the timeout.
O'Bannon will challenge Stewart. Nope, he'll get double teamed and have it taken away by Beck. Beck in traffic to McDaniel. On the wing, a 3. Look at Beck, second leading rebounder from the guard position this year. Swinging around to the three-point giant.
He's amazing.
Here comes Arkansas, 55-51 UCLA.
Dillard, gotta be a foul. Hey, he fouled him twice before that. Here's a push. Here's another push. And then the third one was a trip. And Jim Herrick's letting the official know it, too. Good job on his part. Stand up, keep those guys alert.
Ed O'Bannon three-pointer. Cedic. Look at this. Boy, the big man from Prague is really battling inside.
Well, we talked about it earlier. Jim, he was looking to go home when he was so unproductive in his first 2 years at UCLA on the court, not in the classroom. He has been an All-American academically. But Tyus Edney convinced him to stay, and he has been a very important factor for this team.
Changed his name to Yuri, from Yuri to George, and actually wasn't recruited by UCLA until Cherokee Parks decided to sign with Duke. And late, Bruins sign Cedic. Knocks down 2 free throws, 6-point UCLA lead.
I don't see the fatigue factor yet, Jim. They're hanging in there pretty well.
And Corliss Williamson still rests. Williamson last scored with 16 minutes to go in the first half.
That's that confidence that no one has in that bench. He's got nerves of steel, I'll tell you that. You'd think you'd want that man in there.
You'd think your leading scorer's gone 24 minutes without a point. Stewart, though, starting to do it up. Too strong with that one.
Got a chance with the numbers again.
Charles O'Bannon, Dollar with the assist.
You cannot afford to attack the basket with 5 men against UCLA because they can get out and run. Bad shot.
Robinson. We've seen him take that before.
And there they go again. Get the numbers. They're so quick. They all can catch it on the run. Jim, that shot reminded me of the first half and when Arkansas played the other day and took 22 threes by the wrong people at the wrong time and found themselves behind against North Carolina.
Cedic again. We'll shoot 2.
Well, we talked about John Wooden's first national championship in '64 when Kenny Washington came to the front with the 26 points. This young man will go in history as well if he steps in and continues to play the way he is tonight for Tyus Edney, because Cameron Dollar has been outstanding.
Robinson out with 3. Corliss Williamson into the game. They're in now a 1-on-1 situation already. UCLA, but this is a 2-shot situation. Cameron Dollar.
He is tired.
He'll get a blow. Replaced by J.R. Henderson.
Now, let's think about what they're going to do. They really don't have a point guard on the floor. Does that mean that Bailey goes back there and Ed O'Bannon brings it up? Nolan Richardson will go right after this team. There is not the traditional point guard, either number 1 or 2 on the floor for UCLA.
UCLA hitting its free throws like it did on Saturday. 9 in a row for the Bruins.
That puts Henderson on a guard defensively.
Bruins have matched their largest lead. It's back to 10 and a reach-in on Cedic. Only the 4th team foul for UCLA.
UCLA foul charge number 25, George Cedic, his 2nd team's 4th.
A little more than 12 minutes remaining at the Kingdome. 61-51, now cut to 8.
Let's see the press now, Jim. How do they get the ball up the court against this team? They don't have a guard out there. Nice.
Bailey looks around, pull up, perfect.
Brilliant play. He knew McDaniel was coming behind him. He let him go by. Great defense.
Has missed his last 7 shots.
Here they come again with the numbers.
Stolen by Corliss. Bailey takes it away again. Bailey's 2nd effort.
His freshman, Jim, has been truly outstanding in this tournament. Great defense on Saturday. defense and offense today. Smart. Smart. Don't let him finish.
We've seen this a couple of times, too, where Bailey retrieves his own miss.
Jim, this is the 4th offensive putback in this half for UCLA off the offensive glass. Against Arkansas, that's amazing.
Cameron Dollar got a short break and now is back.
Jim, remember when Jim Herrick was talking to us about lessons he learned from Mike Krzyzewski in regard to Bob Hurley? It looks like he's doing that with Dollar, right?
Well, he was talking about taking Edney out late in the first half against Michigan in a second-round game 2 years ago. Had a 19-point lead just before the half, gave Edney a break, and then went in the locker room up only 13. He said he kicked himself. He felt that switched the momentum around. He learned then later watching Hurley go the distance.
Boy, it's so important to make that foul because it allows you to put your press on. They got it anyway.
And a foul on Bailey on the arm. His third.
Foul is charged to number 12, Kobe Bailey, his third, team 6.
10:58 remaining. UCLA by 11. Well, folks, we have 11 minutes remaining. And Arkansas is down 11. How do they get a flurry going here, Billy Packer?
Well, I like Nolan Richardson's genius for using his bench, Jim. And right now we see out on the floor the starting 5. And I'm not talking about Martin. I'm talking about the starting 5 as he knows it. This is going to be the next 2 minutes are going to be the key for Arkansas to make their move. Because I'll tell you what's happening right now. UCLA will get over that fatigue factor in the fact that you just say, hey, this is the one we got to win. This is the national championship. You get so much adrenaline going, you can overcome it. And Arkansas will start to get some doubts of can they pull it back.
Well,
that starts it.
Way to come out of a timeout. And the Razorbacks were saying all weekend, we know we've been having to play from behind throughout the tournament, but we always feel like no matter what the deficit is, we're going to find a way to get it there. Get it back and win.
A little bit different defensive look.
Ed O'Bannon had a good look at that tip.
Ellen Charles had an easy shot. We see the 2-3 zone.
That's Scotty Thurman hiding out in the corner.
Nice pass.
McDaniel. Ed O'Bannon has 10 rebounds.
How about the decision-making he made there? Instead of throwing it long, he wants to slow it down a little bit. Make sure they conserve some energy. And they can do that against the zone.
Henderson, loose ball to McDaniel.
2 straight times down floor without converting.
Stewart too long, but Williamson with position. No call, but back to back. Thurman.
Come on, hold it.
Now, you know what? You heard Ed O'Bannon say, hold it to his brother, meaning they don't want to run. Maybe Jim Herrick has said right now, I want to slow down the pace to conserve energy. Nice piece of coaching by Herrick. But you can't get too conservative too early, Jim.
2-point shot. Long rebound to Scotty. 65-56 UCLA.
3 straight times down floor without a score for UCLA. You can't go into those droughts like North Carolina did. Over 12 minutes without a field goal.
Well, there hasn't been a whistle since out of that timeout. We're 2 minutes into it. Bruins haven't scored out of the timeout. Arkansas with 4 now.
Jim Herrick has got to feel this a little bit himself. He changed the strategy in regard to the attack mode. He can't allow too big a run here.
8:30 remaining, down to 7. Bruins led by as many as 12. Out to Dollar for a 3. Saved underneath. Arkansas slips and steps on the line. UCLA ball.
There's that number 2 rebounder. He had two teams in the Final Four where their guard was the #2 rebounder. Rutherford from Oklahoma State and Beck for Arkansas. Very unusual.
UCLA scoreless for 3 minutes.
Looks like Jim Herrick's trying to steal about 2-3 minutes here.
Ed O'Bannon gets it right back. Boy, he goes up high.
That was a huge basket.
20 and 11 for Ed O'Bannon. Stewart turnaround, counters.
Well, you see a much fresher team on the floor now. Look at UCLA starting to walk up the court, Jim. With the exception of McDaniel, the UCLA starters have played about half as many minutes as have the UCLA starters.
Stewart got a piece of the arm of Zedek. That'll send Zedek to the line for a 1-and-1. Bill, you mentioned Zedek, an academic All-America, 3.77 GPA in his career, including 3.9 in the fall to make the Dean's List. And the son of a very famous father back in his homeland. His father was the leading scorer in the European Championships back in 1970. So we had a big miss there on the front end.
Now an outstanding coach, obviously.
Corliss challenging Zedek. No, back to Beck for a three. Beck has really shot the three in this tournament.
Great teamwork. Shows the unselfish nature of Corliss Williamson to throw that ball back out.
Razorbacks get it back.
And Scotty Thurman raises his fist, saying this is it.
It's the under 8 timeout. The Razorbacks are showing signs of another comeback. Look at the second chance points tonight. UCLA with 25 to only 6 for Arkansas.
Jim, those off-the-glass offensive putbacks in this half have been amazing, but now you're talking about a little bit tired team in terms of tired legs.
The family of Tyus Edney, mother Barbara on the left, brother Russell, father Hank.
And a young man whose stomach probably turning in knots right now, wishing he could be out there. Tough break.
Gutted out, tried to go. Couldn't use the right hand at all.
Nice movement. They're looking for Corliss Williamson on every timeout. Nolan has set up an excellent offensive half-court play.
Williamson
can't shoot over Zedek.
Never seen him have problems like this inside.
He had not been able to shoot it over him.
Corliss 2 out of 13 from the field.
UCLA this year 24-0 when they hold opponents under 80.
Beck strips it away.
He's looking around, and there's the three.
And the man they want shooting it. Oh, Thurman rattles it out.
Jim, I
Look
think
at Dollar breaking through.
They got to go on the attack some.
UCLA had the bodies underneath, but they mistimed it. Now Corliss straight ahead. Still can't get one. That was Williamson, challenged by O'Bannon. O'Bannon late getting up the floor to tie his shoe.
Big break for Ed O'Bannon. His shoelaces are untied. Here you see McDaniel moving those feet. Referee said he didn't get there in time.
That is the third on McDaniel, the 9th on Arkansas. So this is the last 1-on-1 situation of the night for UCLA.
Jim, you were talking about those second chance points. I don't know, I wasn't able to research every team that's ever won a national championship, but I'm willing to put this one on the line. Arkansas, if they were to win, I think would be the first team ever to be out-rebounded by their opponents on the season, which is hard to believe you could be potentially a national championship and have that kind of stat. Tonight they're getting out-rebounded, as usual.
Zedek was beaten to the spot by Corliss and then commits the foul. That is the 7th on UCLA, so they'll shoot a 1-and-1.
Boy, he moves to the ball so well. That time he came all the way across the lane. Missed his last 11 shots, which is very, very unusual. 64% shooter in NCAA tournament play. Of course, the all-time leader is Bill Walton in regard to shooting percentage for a career in the tournament. That was capped off by his 21 out of 22 against Memphis State.
Big 1-and-1 now, 5:22 remaining. There's Corliss's dad and his brother.
His dad and mom drove up to see him after that terrible loss to Alabama at home by 18. His father set him straight. He said, be a man the rest of the year, and he has been.
Double team on Dollar. O'Bannon over Thurman. And the mismatch. And they took advantage.
Great job by Dollar splitting the double team.
Under 5 remaining for the national championship.
And watch Williamson coming to the ball, Jim.
Stewart stuck.
Dillard in range.
Yeah, anywhere inside the midcourt stripe. Williamson on the drive. Hacked by. Well, they call it on Dollar, his 3rd.
Jim, you talked earlier about Corliss could be the first guy who had back-to-back MOPs since Walton. There were others. Alcindor won all 3 years. Lucas won in 60 and 61. Groza in 48 and 49. And Bob Curlin from Oak State was the first back-to-back MOP winner. He won in 45 and 46.
1-and-1. Well, that's it. They called it actually, I guess, on the shot. I saw the first indication was on the drive. So one more.
Part of the continuation of was he in the act of the shot.
Only 3 of 7 at the line, now 50%. 4-point UCLA lead. O'Bannon, pull off. Tipped up and dunked by Bailey.
Jim, he elevated to another height, didn't he? He went up halfway and then kept right on going. You're looking at a future star there.
I think the future is now.
Oh, yeah. You see Dollar makes the block. It hits the back of the board. Now, here's what I'm talking about. Watch him elevate and then just keep going up higher. Boom. Tremendous play. That's the 5th offensive putback of this half.
I think a local company here named Boeing might be interested in talking to Bailey about how you get up so fast. Airborne.
Tremendous.
Dillard for McDaniel. 4:14 on the game clock.
He was fading away on that jump. Did not go towards the basket.
Reach in. 2 shots the rest of the way for UCLA.
What's happening right now, Jim? Arkansas made their move as we anticipated. Now they have to start looking at that clock a little bit. Let's see how confident they are. Jim Herrick is doing something very smart here. Even though he slowed the pace down, they take the attack mode whenever they have the numbers. And I think that's very smart to pick up some cheap baskets.
Dollar. His father, Donald, looking on. His father coached him in high school back in Atlanta.
He made 7 of 8 free throws against Oak State. In the lane. Nothing like the emotion of a parent. Must be some thrill.
Lead is back to 8. Thurman coming through. And Stewart over the back.
Yes, sir. UCLA is now picking up confidence, and the adrenaline is flowing. Now look at this huddle by Arkansas. First time they have to start questioning themselves a little bit. Great elevation on the defensive glass by O'Bannon. Stewart over the top.
And it was Corey Beck who brought them together for that summit. And McDaniel in for Dillard. Ed O'Bannon will shoot two.
This Arkansas team in the 90s have won more games than any team in college basketball. They've got 174 wins, followed by Kansas 165, North Carolina 162, and Duke 160. They have been outstanding.
Ed Sr. and Madeline O'Bannon. Able to smile as they look at the clock. 3:54, and the two freebies brings it back to 10. The teams head to the benches for the last official timeout. UCLA 10 points in front. What a night this man is having. It's been a long journey to this championship game, and 3:54 away from winning the title for Jim Herrick and his high school sweetheart, wife Sally. Their journey from Charleston, West Virginia to California without a job, and made it through the high school ranks, through the assistant ranks in college, to Pepperdine as a head coach, and now in his 7th season at UCLA. Ed O'Bannon makes the steal. UCLA possession with 3:30 remaining, up 10.
And Zidek playing against Williamson on the outside created that.
Bailey steps in, and the freshman unflappable. 24 for Bailey.
Stop the shot again.
Push off by Dollar. And for Dollar, this becomes a concern. Four personal fouls on Cameron Dollar.
Let's see if Jim Herrick tries to steal a little time with him, because you want him in the game for the last minute. Jim, see if he tries to go back with Henderson so that he can have Dollar on the floor for the last minute.
Corey Beck shooting
1-and-1 for Beck. Arkansas has gone over 4 minutes without a field goal. Edney still rubbing the right wrist.
And Jim, it will be a free throw shooting contest. And remember, on Saturday, UCLA made 10 of 10 in the last minute and 32.
And overall, its last 14. Fake by Bailey, and now UCLA will pull it out.
Dollar's got to be careful now also on the drive. He doesn't want to pick up an offensive charge.
Zidek. McDaniel whistled for his 4th.
Jim, you can't say enough about the way UCLA has paced this game in the last 10 minutes. Arkansas gave him the shot, and Jim Herrick figured, well, we need to slow it down some to save some energy. And now they go back on the attack. Brilliant strategy. And all these little minutes of substituting people help UCLA, because it gives them almost like a timeout rest.
Remots, who can hit a 3.
74% free throw shooter. Well, he's learned a little English. For those of you who heard that remark. They said get a free throw shooting contest.
2.5 to go.
Come on.
Williamson gets a field goal at last. His first since 16 minutes to go in the first half. Got it under 10 also.
Here's where Jim Herrick has to work the referees a little bit in regard to fouling, Jim, because Arkansas will come out now and try to double team a lot. There's an example.
Stewart sending Ed O'Bannon to the line.
See, they're going to come out and really go after people with double teams, so you got to work those referees and make them call the quick whistle.
Only 2 minutes and 3 seconds remaining.
Ed O'Bannon shooting 2.
Talk about leadership. After UCLA was humiliated last year in the first round of Tulsa, Ed O'Bannon held a little meeting in the locker room after the game and told them that coming back for his last year, he wouldn't allow that to happen again.
And it wasn't like he played poorly against Tulsa. He had a 31-point game, so it really wasn't all his doing.
Dillard banks it home. Cuts it to 8. Dillard, who hit a big 3 in the overtime against Syracuse. Bailey left alone. Bailey continues to soar.
Well, Jim, Purvis Ellison won the MOP as a freshman. don't discount this young man.
Stewart.
Not a good shot.
Back. What a try at that save, but doesn't get it. 10-point lead. UCLA ball with 1:25 to go.
Stewart was off balance, Jim, for that 3.
Timeout called by UCLA. .125 remaining in the game. UCLA 81-71, each team with 2 timeouts. It was Herrick who called that timeout. And during that break, John Wooden got up from his seat and headed out.
Now, coach has had some problems with the hip. They go long.
Charles! Corey Beck, 3-pointer. He's hit 8 out of 10 in the tournament from 3. And Ed O'Bannon will go to the line. How about finishing the thought about John Wooden?
Well, I think, Jim, one of the things that Coach Wooden is known for is his pyramid of success. And it's a number of levels of success, but he talks about conditioning, skill, team spirit, poise, confidence, and then at the top of the pyramid is competitive greatness. And what we are seeing tonight, a team that entered this floor without their leader, without the guy that we all thought would be so critical to the game, without him, no chance. Competitive greatness at the top of that pyramid of success is what's brought this team on.
Nick Daniel fouling out, ending his career. The senior had 16 tonight, all of them in the first half. O'Bannon will have 2. Jim Herrick says about Wooden, I love the guy. He's the wisest man I've ever known, and he taught me so much, hundreds of things. But the one thing he told me is if I listened to too much criticism, it would hurt my coaching. And if I listened to too much praise, it would hurt my coaching.
There you can see Nolan obviously more than just concerned.
Beck again. Beck slaps it out to Dillard. 11-point UCLA lead with a minute remaining. Stolen by Dollar. Stewart. 42 seconds to go. And there will be no Arkansas comeback, it appears, this time.
Well, they dodged it game after game. It is so tough to repeat. And just think that UCLA did it 7 times. Not until David Thompson and company came up in '74 did they stop that rush of John Wooden's great ball clubs. Throw one out to you, Jim. In 1962, which was Wooden's first year into the Final Four. He played our alma mater, Wake Forest, in the consolation game.
And you played in that game.
He never lost a Final Four game from '62 to 1974.
North Carolina State.
North Carolina State.
Overtime.
Yep.
In Greensboro.
And Jim Herrick has coached a brilliant game tonight.
That was your question, wasn't it?
Yep. You're
State?
all over it. NC State. Matter of fact, that broke the string of Bill Walton's back-to-back MOPs because David Thompson was the man.
It's actually double overtime that game. Corey Beck comes out, ending his career.
Corliss still hustling.
Both O'Bannon brothers with a dunk in the last minute to bring the lead to 13 and Remots.
And Jim, that play personified what this game was all about. UCLA in the open court. If you press them, they're such good passers and finishers. You may get some turnovers, but they can convert.
This is what team play is all about. There was a wizard in the stands and some magic on the floor. Jim Herrick and UCLA can hang a banner in Westwood.